What's popular YouTube? Another day, another demo. Today we are going to watch Rain play on Nuke in the grand finals of the PGL Antwerp Major 2022. Rain got the MVP of the entire major. Right before finals started, Simple popped back into the #1 position after putting up like a 1.71 versus Ents. Navi crushed Heroic on Nuke. They crushed Ents on Nuke after barely playing the map this year, even though they were the best in 2021. But Heroic and Ents, those are the two other best Nuke teams for me. FaZe are the #1 Nuke team in the world. They proved that in that final. And the best part about this demo is that they are the best on Nuke right now. Not only because I think they're bringing the best style to Nuke, which I'll talk about in the demo, but because Rain is the guy who is now playing where Nico played, controlling the yard on both T and CT side, had insane impact on both the T and CT side. This is one of the best Nuke performances of all time, okay, here by Rain. And I don't say that lightly, partly because it is also the highest pressure possible situation, you know, in a major final. So I don't even have to think about it that hard. This is truly a masterclass. And the perfect cherry on top for the player who not only just appeared in this final, but also consistently did it through the major and got the entire MVP. I mean, this is unreal. So I'll talk more in the conclusion of the video about all the different things that have happened with these narratives. I had really bad internet at the hotel when I was at the major, so I haven't watched a demo since the RMRs or something. I haven't been able to download anything, unfortunately. So we are going to chew through a ton of demos. You got a demo for me to watch. Let me know in the comments who it should be. I'm going to start downloading demos and uploading again. I will be casting WePlay, but quickly before we start, I'll be casting WePlay for the next 2 weeks from home in the middle of the day. I'm going to bring back the 10-mans and the streams and stuff afterwards if I'm not too tired. It depends how many maps we're doing. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So enjoy the demo. It's really solid. And hopefully I'm not too rusty at this. Let's get into it. Into the match we go as we're here to watch Rain play against Navi in the grand finals of PGL Antwerp. What an absolutely incredible event. Amazing crowd. I'm going to talk about it in the intro, okay? Let's talk about Rain and how he creates space here both on CT and T side, actually. Oh, Shadow spotted off a team flash. Perfecto goes down. That's unfortunate. Electronic put the death wish on Perfecto. And Boomich couldn't hit a shot. 27 health. Boomich was pretty quiet this final. Unfortunately, I think that did weigh on Navi a little bit, especially with the positions he was playing. Plays Squeaky CT side on this map. Plays B on Inferno, where there were some problems there. Rain, on the other hand, though, let's talk about positives here. Rain was absolutely phenomenal. Not going to chop it up. This is one of the best Nuke performances of all time. I'm talking a great CT side and an absolutely amazing T side as well, even though it was shorter. Rain responsible for both. Plus, we've got the fact that this is a major grand final, and this is FaZe, who, you know, had that horrific loss at Boston, which could cause anybody to doubt themselves, right? Rain not only did this with this Nuke performance to top off a series of good Nuke performances in this run at the major, but he had he got the major MVP off of the back of this win as well, overtaking Simple, who also had a quiet final. And I think that that's going to start being talked about more and more as well. The amount of major finals they've been in. I think Rain has only been in 2 major finals, this and Boston, and played in, you know, virtually every major, but 50% win rate in finals. So even though they ended up losing to Cloud9 back then, suddenly that's just not so bad to think about with FaZe, because they've actually put together a major, and again, it's one of 2. So the whole deal is, it's kind of like when Kerrigan played with Nico back on the old FaZe, and Nico for G2 and every other iteration of every roster he's played for. Nico is the guy who can play outside, both on CT and T side, and he can do it almost by himself. So I use this, the way I describe it is, it makes the map feel very big when you can have one player completely control an entire area like outside on Nuke. And right now, I personally think that FaZe's Nuke is the best in the world. I said that coming into the final versus Navi, even though Navi beat Ents, they beat Heroic in playoffs and smoked them. I think that right now Kerrigan's calling the best Nuke because of the way they use Rain. And then the fact that Rain's consistency is at basically an all-time high. He's playing the best CS of his life, his best major of the two, plus best overall form in these past 6 months, trending way up. And for so long, I've talked about FaZe's 3 players who, you know, could potentially be top 10. We now have Rain, who, if this keeps up, he will be, you know, not just top 20 player, maybe even top 15. So maybe even top 10. I don't know. It would just be nuts to have potentially 4. We'll see what happens. It's so far from there. All right, so this spot is really powerful for catching the mini lurker, and at a certain point, Rain might swing on the outside of mini to see if maybe we've got a lurk. Sometimes they'll send a spawn over top of silo and drop in a mini. And this spot is great because it watches the back of mini, so no one can get in there. So your upper guys can play on top of hut, all these other positions. And it also makes sure that they can't cross outside, right? They can't sneak over top of silo, top mini, onto the floor and around. It's a really good catch-all position, basically. And anybody who walks into the angle, CT favored. It's a very good CT fight. So it's a great place to stand. So what's the downside then? Why would you not want to play there every round? Well, number one, you can't play every spot every round. One spot every round, because then you will get pre-fired. You'll get countered, you get mollied, you get naded. So you have to stay... You have to add some variety. Oh, this is a heads-up play. Okay. Rain looking to phase the smoke. He's got the flash, maybe from Brokey there in heaven, or whoever was nearby. And he does sneak for a position inside a secret. So they get a kill outside. But not only that, we have a moment here where now Rain could stop them from getting into secret. Oh, this is unbelievable. I don't even know if I remember this round watching it live. Wow. I mean, that's just phenomenal, right? I mean, they have no idea that he's there. He was playing on the inside of smokes. They flashed so early, he didn't overplay his hand, and then just appeared at the secret. And that, see what we just saw from Navi? That's something that FaZe do not do when we go over to T side, which I think is something that's kind of unique to nuke for them, where they have a lot of outside presence, but it's mostly just Rain, and they use a lot of the grenades to help him make space with all the different variations, different styles of lurk, but almost never are FaZe going for the 5-man outside cross. I don't know if they really do it ever. Maybe 1 or 2 rounds, and maybe more frequently on anti-ecos or eco rounds, but overall, all the trust is in this man right here. Yeah, I mean, you know, we're at a point where I could, you know, Rain, for the people who are really new, Rain was not just a really good player on FaZe that, you know, was like popular and has been there for so long. He was the best player on FaZe, even when they were full of star players. Guardian, Nico, Olaf, all these guys, Rain was carrying them for a certain period of time. And you'd have to go back to be able to see that. But Rain was the player that this team was built around, basically, for a long period of time. And then as soon as like they got some fresh blood and this new core of really young players, you know, that wasn't Rain anymore. But more than that, I wondered if Rain could even be that player anymore if he wanted to be. And watching this major, I feel like it can be the case. I mean, again, the consistency, we'll see how long it'll keep up. But this just completely caught me off guard. You know, I was calling for Rain's head back in the online period because I made a bad judgment about who would be good coming back to LAN. I thought the players who struggled online would unfortunately just continue to struggle. But it did have a lot to do with who was good on LAN before, and remembering that COVID was a really, really hard period for a lot of players, especially the ones that have played for a very long time. And we saw an enormous bounce back from the more experienced players on a lot of different teams taking over again as soon as they got back to the in-person tournaments, just right away. Cologne, they had FaZe beat Gambit at the time, which was a team that they consistently lost to online. I mean, I think they were like a 5-1 in series or something. Not even ever taking a win. Maybe you taking one map even. And that all changed. And then that's when that, I think, Rain mostly caught my attention. So there's the Boomich lurk. So he was specifically looking for that kill. Done a good job of countering so far. And Electronic made a very sneaky play there to get into secret. That was hard to read. It was kind of like how Rain got into secret that previous round. And Electronic only came out just to refrag Boomich. That was really useful. Rops, does he win this? I feel like he gets the first kill. Did he get the second? Oh, this is the weird play. This is the one where, okay, I think this play was because we just saw Electronic in secret. Okay, so there's the justification. We just saw him over in secret, so he's probably going to be on the outside of mini, or there's a likelihood of it. So Rops comes through here instead of tapping the bomb, waiting for him to peek. So that part made sense, but so much time comes off the clock in this spot that it's hard to play off of. And Electronic, I think, snuck into Hut at some point, so he'll get the kill here. But there were a couple of retakes where Rops tried these enormous rotations, and the only part of it that didn't seem, what's the right word for it? Didn't seem like the best play is because of the LAN, because the audience is going to blow your flanks every single time. It might work out in Rops' favor, but I think it's going to work out for the guy who's hiding most of the time. So I thought that was pretty ambitious, and he did do a couple of them. Oh, here we got a cool run boost, so with a little bit of support here, and Rain will look towards Squeaky this time around. And it's very hard for the rifler, like a one-man player outside, to stay fresh, right? Because you can push the side of red, you can get into secret, you can kind of lurk around for fights, but if you don't ever have an op appear, eventually that op is going to try to counter you. Positioning for Rain here, really sound once again. None of these kills look stressed whatsoever. He's pretty much outplaying them on everything they want to do. And I can't remember how this position distills, so that would make it more interesting. Oh yeah, we've got Squeaky shows himself. Oh man, I think this was actually a really good tether. Okay, so Rops baits attention, and this gets spotted on Squeaky, and then look who takes the initial contact. It'll actually be Rain to push out of the smoke. Really well handled here. And then I think one back sight spotted in this position. There's a sound bait actually from both Rain and Rops. It's really hard for Electronic to figure out who to shoot first. Rain was of course the low player in that spot, but they win that. That was kind of beautiful cohesion. And looking from Rain's perspective, it looks less deliberate, I guess. You know, I think I called it a sound bait when I was playing. Oh, and bro, he's consistently winning versus the outside lurks. He's even killed the pack when it's been a 3-man cross outside with the lurk at the beginning. I mean, literally a god in this game. And we're talking about Navi, who in 2021 were the undisputed best team on nuke. They set a like 13, whatever it was, 18. They get up to 20. I can't remember. They had so many games in a row. I'm gonna say it was like 18 or something. Nuke games in a row, LAN matches won, and then they lost to Vitality, the Blastfall final, and that was a very impressive win. Apex was actually the best player at that moment, and he was the guy playing outside. And I think that's why we look at Rain right now. We see not only did he play well, but he's got a very risky place. He's got a really risky place on the map, playing outside with a rifle, and a lot of responsibility. If he dies a lot, they will lose a lot of rounds. If Rain kills a lot, again, what I was saying earlier, the map will feel huge. The rotations will be so much easier. Rain is, I mean, outside is a lot of area to babysit, right? So here, you know, he's trying to watch Squeaky, but also wants to spot the cross. We see some of those outside smokes come down. Will Rain die without a kill for once? That is the question. Okay, I'm very curious to see what the adjustment will be. So with these smokes, they could threaten the big garage lurk, which puts a lot of pressure on Rain to actually just fall back. But a part of you needs to still keep tabs on outside. So yeah, you see Rain kind of patrolling between these positions. But as he gets more passive, the T's grow a little stronger. So that was the idea behind the smokes. So this is a spot where Navi are going to feel pretty good. And this will be interesting to see what the adjustment's going to be. Oh, so he tries to throw a one-way for himself. Perfecto peeks off of it. He did end up lurking into big garage, as Rain was nervous about. But I still like the proactivity instead of just sitting around waiting for something to happen. Let's see actually what happens on this round. So yeah, if you push into the hut, then you're expecting the other team to take over heaven. And you can see everyone's prepared for these situations. And then Rops might be the other first point of contact here if they did cross secret. And you think it might be a lower play. So, you know, very reasonable spots here for FaZe. And it looks like they kind of will split the attack into upper and lower. And Rops has absolutely no problems here. Yeah, wow. What a beast. Really cool demo thus far, honestly. That molly has done a ton. And if they don't counter it, then he knows they haven't crossed. So you don't have to, he doesn't have to swing that wide. And if he throws that molly, then he can also threaten that he's behind mini, and then he can draw out more utility, force them to slow down. So here's a nice new position here as well for Rain. So this is another, you know, thing that you can do is get into secret this way. We're at a point in the round, nothing has happened in terms of damage. They don't know if there's any unconfirmed damage. Navi haven't thrown their outside cross smokes yet if they're going to. But it might be about time. And Rain is feeling very comfortable. I mean, we're not waiting for a flash over secret. Maybe he is. And sometimes this will be brokey because he'll rotate heaven or play behind hell. The molly comes down, he gets tagged. It is land, so you don't have to be super concerned every time you take a little bit of damage. But yeah, he'll come back up for the repeak. And yeah, just in position, just in time, and lots of support. So if Rain is going to make this play, he has to call the timing that, okay, number one, and go downstairs, make sure no one's lower. Number two, mini's open, and also the heaven wrap is open. So that's where the adjustment will come in. But if they don't find Rain and know that he's secret, then they won't know that, you know, brokey's in that spot, for example, in heaven watching outside or playing in hell. Okay, this time we'll have a nade on the cross. Sometimes you want to throw the molly. Whoa, that's weird. One smoke? Okay, they're just waiting for the in case there are mollies. This is a weird one because I think they run by his bullets on this round. I think I remember. I can actually X-ray. I forgot. Oh yeah. Okay. I forgot I can do that. So let's take a peek. No one else outside. So they have crossed. Now sometimes when the smokes go down on the cross outside, you wait for half the smoke, then you throw your molly because the molly's gonna expire as the smokes finally finish, and in that spot they'll have to smoke it, and because you need 3 smokes to do that cross, you can't re-smoke them because you only got 5 players. So one molly can do enormous work in that regard, especially if they're trying to run a rotate downstairs. And that's something that can also work on LAN, where if the crowd is loud enough, you don't have to walk every rotation. You can, you know, where online you would walk every time you crossed outside. You could probably get away with running on LAN. Okay, so this is, I mean, one thing I love about this demo so far is that we've seen Rain in dedicated positions in a number of different spots on the map. So just to talk about how fresh they've kept it, and then get a molly kill here from Twist. So Rain was kind of the early warning system. They're playing clock and lower. And now brokey will play inside a big garage. Again, variety, so the spice of life. And that's going to put in work, but Perfecto helps out a bit too. He's got a team kill. This would have been huge, but they re-smoked it smartly. So that's a moment where, okay, maybe half the smoke is gone. Molly comes down, things get threatened, and your heaven guys can peek off the molly that Rain throws in case they are standing by the vent and trying to hold that headshot angle. There's always the opposite vent, which is the first thing you got to be worried about, but your heaven guys can kind of clear that out for you. One duel is won, and brokey misses his shot. They'll lose here. Finally, only 3 rounds on the T side. Okay, double flashes to support Kerrigan on the push this time around. And Rain doesn't die first, so they know he's still here. Okay. So that one's spawn-based, I think. Maybe ideally, it's Rain to do the push and Kerrigan to be in the back, but also ideally, you know, Kerrigan gets his kill, can fall out, and then they don't expect the double push position from Rain. But every round, new plays. Oh, this is so stressed. He knew one was opposite vent and one's low below him, but he can't win that fight easily. A nice trade from Electronic and 4 nearing the end. And finally a save round, actually. So yeah, anything back here is super good for anything slow outside. You know that big garage is locked off. You can peek into mini later on. You can listen as well. If they're making noise on the cross, they're walking around in secret, or your teammate throws a molly and they have to jump from it. If Rain is sitting in this spot, he can listen to all of that. So some positions are really good for just audibles. And I think he did get some information actually here that they have gone downstairs. Let's see if it's being held. Oh, okay. Bit's very careful about it. Bit played extremely well, especially on Inferno. It's crazy because, you know, FaZe just... well, FaZe struggled on Inferno a little bit just to close out, but they had such strong starts both times. Okay, this one's a little tragic, I think, because Rain's gonna make this feel like it's over. Oh wait, did they just straight up win? Or is the next round maybe? Yeah, okay, they just decimate him here. I am washing my shoes in the laundry, in case you can hear that. It's kind of loud, but I wanted to record. So. Yeah, this one's a little unfortunate. This is funny because he uses all his bullets, then he switches to the dualies, and I think he even gets another kill after this. Merc's simple. All his teammates are still alive. But we're about to see who actually wins the round. Yeah, he does get another kill. Oh, this is a sick round from Boomich. Okay, or sorry, from Bit. So you can see Rain and the bomb is inside ramp and Bit's in ramp as well. Let's just see what happens. I don't know what this looks like from Rain's perspective. Okay, just gets smoked instantly on the opposite side of ramp. The headshot on the high HP player, body shot on Rain, perfect. Leave it to Bit. Can we see this molly that Rain was throwing, right? It can't be disrespected. If it's like when you molly mid on overpass. If no one smokes it, they could take 40 damage and run through. But if they don't want to do that, then they have to let you know if they're going to cross. So for anything early that the Ts want to try, the CTs know they don't have to worry about yard for like 7 seconds. The one big opening is if people start silo, but people don't often do that as much. Oh my god. I actually don't know if he was spotted. Okay, he was spotted. Can this be brought back? I think we're going to see a couple situations in this second half. And I can't remember who I was with, but after the CT side, and I already knew Rain was just farming on nuke this whole major, I was saying he's going to win this game for Navi on T side. I knew it coming into it. It's definitely the hard half of the map, but he's been so good, like, for I think like 5 maps straight, posting enormous ratings. And crazily enough, it's the major final that his highest rating was. I think it's like a 1.8 or something. 30 kills on the map. Oh yeah. So every round is possible if Rain's still alive. Won't even go for a reload. Here's only 10 seconds, so they just got to make a move. And Kerrigan doesn't get his. And there is a fast rotation as well. And again, same situation, but easy rounds. And now it's a 3-round game, and you think, okay, Navi in 2021, even during their whole nuke streak, they were actually consistently inconsistent on T side. They would regularly get 6 rounds on T side, sometimes even 5 rounds on T side. But one thing that always worked is they always came back on CT side. Simple was the best CT player by a huge margin. His rotations were just insane, which they really weren't this game. And yeah, he was just the best player in the world by an enormous margin versus anyone they played. But times are changing. Times are changing. This is a very brave phase of the smoke, but he almost lined it up perfectly. No one there on that first set of stairs. They could still be here. There are a lot of ways to die in this position. And Rain can take a second attempt at peeking into the control side. He's not seeing anybody, and they still have time to let him work. And in this spot, this is a really good time to try to go ramp. Okay, they'll take out Boomich. Oh, but Electronic dies upstairs, and then they have Squeaky. So now you go back upper, and Rain knows for his teammates that they can't go up the... Oops, that they can't go up the vents. Okay, they let Simple live a little bit long, but overall it's fine. Still one player up. I don't know. Can Bit win this? He's a ramp rotator, so he could come out of hut. Yeah, and there he is in hut. Oh my god, Rain won that. No bullets. Wow. Teammate low as well. I mean, the bomb was planted for Kerrigan, but that would have been Bit all day if he got that first kill. Yeah, so the impact was just enormous. I mean, it wasn't a matter of, oh, he's got so many kills, he's playing well. Basically every round we've watched, like, win or lose, it looked possible because of Rain. It was like, okay, that's kind of his worst spray of the game, I guess, but it's instantly traded. Okay. Oh yeah, that's where Simple made the rotation. Simple is making some good rotations this game. He wasn't scary though. It wasn't scary. They weren't scared of him. He wasn't multi-fragging. He wasn't like getting insane clutches. He had a couple of good mid-round moments, some good rifle, you know, 3K sequences, but about it. No, I think, yeah, actually, FaZe, I think they win this round too. They get the flashes off upper. Perfecto's usually like the best flash dodger upstairs. You want to learn how to dodge flashes on upper hits, watch Perfecto demos, that's for sure. And oh my god, I think this is extremely well played from Rain. I think this is extremely well played from Rain. Okay. Got one here. Then there's one jumping up on top of the site, but instead of Rain going up as well, he's just making so much noise, and he's avoiding dying for so long. He stays alive continuously. Now we know electronics come out of mini, and he finds a timing to get up heaven to help with this as well. Now he's just drawing their attention. Brokey gets the kill. These timings are actually unbelievable, and he wins this just by engaging for a second and just staying alive. Not even time for him to go for this. And Electronic even dies because of the damage. That was so damn well played. And you have to understand, moments like that can be so hard to figure out what the right decision was. And as soon as you die, you know, oh, I had a feeling. Oh, that peak was coming. Oh, I should have been somewhere else. Rain just like tuned in. He's like in that rhythm. That was so crazy to deal with, right? Because the guy who just jumped up, he wants to come and check for Rain, who might be jumping up and not know he's up there. And Rain just gets out. I don't even know if Rain knew someone was jumping up or not. He's just playing mind games with them. And this was calling attention to this. The kind of zero support outside place. Not to say that they were leaving him out to dry, because he actually, you know, he doesn't have to throw a lot of his own grenades. They throw the initial grenades to draw utility, to make it feel like he could have gone secret, draw some rotations. But Rain, he's being used in different ways here. Sometimes very slow, back mini lurk. Sometimes he's going fast cross outside like we do with Brokey. Sometimes he'll try to lurk credit card, big garage. I don't know what he does this map in specific that I can remember. And let's see about this angle, how this works out. I feel like if they were like back against the outside fence and they were clearing this, they probably would be able to see Rain a little bit sooner. But maybe this is a really good off angle. I'm not sure what you'd be looking at from the CT perspective. So this is the lurk that we saw Boomich try to pull off. It's a very common thing to do, right? But the reload from opposite vent, Rain is sniffing this out. He's waiting for some attention to be drawn. Instant pre-fire there. Okay, watching that match live, I don't think we got Rain's perspective. Didn't know how he figured that out. And suddenly, instant transmission. He's on the back of the site. Look at the impact, man. I mean, the plays are insanely cerebral. The timings are great. The aim is great. Literally like going back to 2017. Not trying to be facetious here, but the loss in 2017 or 2018, you know, was pretty bad, right? Like mentally, You don't know how many times you're going to be able to get the chance to play at a major. The team kind of breaks up after that. Guardian, Nico, Olaf, bench on bench, bench on bench. And Rain's just the consistency, right? The one constant, always there through all these iterations. But his performances are going down, from after this loss. And kind of like understandably, because, yeah, it's just depression, right? You lose a game that Cloud9 were like number 6 in the world. You should be taking that one. That could have been your only chance to win a major. And for basically 3 years, Rain's performances drop and drop and drop. Not like off the earth, off the flat earth, but just enough that he's no longer the star. He's no longer, as scary or anything like that. But what we've seen in this year with this lineup, Kerrigan more confident, this core that is actually all these players are continuously getting better month over month. Brokey starting this year out number 1 in the world. And this final piece of the puzzle in Rops, who doesn't need much training. He's already played with Kerrigan over on Mouse Sports. We also see Rain, kind of rise to the level, and I think the enthusiasm and feels like just a positive energy that now is in this team. Like they somehow made a roster that is as good or better than one with Nico, Guardian, Olaf, all back in like years ago when everyone was insane. Like, it's hard to imagine that would be possible, and then it can make sense why you might either lose the motivation you need to like stick to it just to see how, to see if there's a chance. But the patience has paid off. One thing I always like about the real legacy players of each roster, like the Chris J, the Rain, the Rops, even in Mouse Sports, I just imagine they're like really great teammates, because they just have stuck through many iterations. I feel like it says a lot about you if you're like the one guy who never gets cut or leaves or just sticks to one org for a long time. Doesn't have to be the case, I guess, but another pure impact round. 10-15. I mean this game is over, and yeah, dude, another key frag, another lurk we saw from Rain. Really, I mean, that's just, first of all, congratulations to FaZe. First major for Rain, first major for Kerrigan, first major for Twist. Twist, the first NA player to win a major and a Grand Slam, or sorry, second after Stewie, and the 12th player in the world to do that outside of Stralis, Liquid, with Stewie and Twist. Oh, wait, sorry. It would be... Wait, what was the stat that I said? I don't know exactly. Okay. What other cool things are there? Twist, first Canadian to win a major. Thank you. Incredible. First Latvian to win a major. To be in a major grand final, for that matter, in Brokey. First Estonian to win a major with Rops. First major for all of these guys. Yeah, I mean, it was amazing. What a result. It's the most satisfying conclusion. Maybe besides Simple winning 2 majors for a player who was nearly top 1 4 years in a row. Navi winning 2 majors for an organization that has never won a major until Stockholm. Bit being undefeated at majors was a big one. Both results were so good. But I can't help but feel partial to this one more than the other. Kerrigan, I just wanted it so badly for him. So I don't think I've ever been that invested actually in someone winning a major. Like the thought of FaZe choking Inferno when it got to overtime, I was really worried. I was just so worried about, I just couldn't like bear to think the thought of seeing Kerrigan, get that flashback, you know what I mean? Or just lose the confidence that he came in looking so strong. And then Kerrigan had that 3K from Library with like headshots. And I was thinking, holy shit, he's a new guy. Like he is a totally new guy. I have seen Kerrigan, I've never seen such palpable nerves than when watching Kerrigan in some moments at big tournaments in the past, where like his spray is just completely gone. Like he looks just so nervous all of a sudden, and I almost teared up, dude, watching that Library 3K and that clutch moment. It was like 15-13. Then they get to overtime. Kerrigan just fragging all event. I mean, the whole thing was just amazing. So yeah, congratulations to all the boys and Rain for getting the MVP as well as winning the major. Insane stuff. What a thing to watch. What a thing to watch. All right, what's next? We got a lot of demos to do. I finally got good internet. Let me know in the comments who should do next. Thanks for watching. Looking for a plate, that's why the dogs up early.
smoking dope, reciting raps out on the patio. My posse